What's up, guys? Um, Back at it again. It's Damon here, and um, yeah, think we're back at it, and there's a reason why I called this keeping the streak going because it's exactly what I intend to do, and none of my trivial, stupid laziness or overthinking or wanting to kind of go jack off in some kind of point. Because I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I do be dumb. Because every single second I'm like. I'm I've been having a problem with that. I think I've spoken about that. But overall, I would say that we're keeping the streak going and we're going to be doing it. And, this is going to continue no matter what. And so that's the case. Um, had another, like, second interview. And now I'm about to have another one. We'll see what happens with that job. I mean, overall, I'm confident that I'm going to get a job very soon. We're just gonna make it happen. But obviously, we have to keep going. We have to keep rolling. And luckily, I have a good standing. I'm not in like a pressure to in a survival pressure because I'm provided in the place that I'm in and everything. But of course, that isn't enough to stop me from keep on pursuing this because obviously I know I need to get out. It's not so much out of practical pressure, but it practical logistical pressure, but it's more out of just your own inevitable pressure to grow and move on out of this place. And I plan for it to expand from this little house in this little town to the bigger aspects of Houston, which I've already visited, but and known about, but to know it in its complete sense, in a more particular sense, I guess you could say. Um, I need to test out something real quick. Um, because I see that my fucking
Good to see you, Chris.
yeah.
Thanks.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, I see that.
Home internet.
Yeah, that was kind of dumb, but yeah, I was just saying because the my earphone right here, the other one died, so I had to pick back up. What I was saying basically is that overall, I would say that I'm just getting better over time, and better at this, and better at this, and better at this, and I forgot exactly what I was talking about actually. Essentially, whatever I was saying is just basically that I'm getting better at all the things that I'm supposed to be getting better at, and ultimately that's just the case, and we're just gonna keep going at it. And by the way, um, I want to get um, what's it called? I would say I would get I want to get closer to what's it called? The fuck is it called? The fuck is it called? I don't know. Um, no, 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 no. Fuck, man. Oh yeah. Basically, yes. There's gonna be a video coming up soon in this channel. Now, obviously, there isn't anybody here to give a shit about that, but over time, people will give a shit about that. So it's the case. But yes, I'm coming up with a vlog. My vlogs are like a mix of like a anything prestigiously cinematic in combination with Casey Neistat. It's like that, and also a bit of Sneeko when he used to do his old videos. So that kind of thing. So yeah. Oh man. By the way, guys, just so that you know, and just so that you can be, I guess, well aware of where I'm coming from, I guess. Um, what could I say? Um, I'm pretty sure you guys have a favorite cereal. Um, mine's. I was actually just eating this right now. What's this? Deesh. So yeah, that's the case. But overall, yeah, we're gonna do the usual. Maybe just add in a little bit of something else, but overall, I would say that we're gonna be doing the usual. Um, maybe just add in a little bit of something else different, but we're gonna be doing the usual. But before we do that, I'm trying to think of something else that we could talk about. Um, I would say, yeah, I mean, I've explained like everything that what's going on this week and what we need to do, and then we're just gonna keep on growing and doing exactly what we need to do when it comes to all these things. But we're just getting better at it. I've been actually watching, well, I'm about to watch, but I watched the first episode of Death Note, and I've never watched the show. I wanted to watch it before, but I was discouraged by it because I hung around with a bunch of anime bitches back in high school, and they just used to bother me about watching all this shit, and I would just be like, "Bro, like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, I don't care." But I watched that one, and I was interested in that one, and I'm glad that I did because the character I relate to a lot. Maybe some people find that a bit disturbing, but that is the case. Some aspects, let me just say, some aspects. Maybe all of it, maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? But I do. Point is, I do. I don't even know his name. And yes, I watch it dub. It's gonna be some point where I'm gonna have to be taking fucking Adderall just so I could go hyper. But that day is not here yet. Not today. You heard that, guys? It's the sound of a bunch of Mexicans fucking roaming around in their Mustangs and their Challengers and their Chargers and their Camaros and their mm, fucking trucks, Chevy truck. Nah, 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 nah. I'm not Mexican. I'm like mysterious and alluring and magical. Yeah, whatever. Damn, man. Damn, damn, damn. All right, what the fuck am I doing? All right, yeah. Let's get to it. Let's just watch these things and per usual. You guys will know that this is just gonna become a regular type of thing. The weird thing about live streaming is there's no pretending. Like, if people like you, it's because they like you. It's only for so long you can put on a fucking act. So you have to have authenticity to a certain extent to be a live streamer. You don't have the luxury of cuts and sounding epic in some kind of fucking speech. But of course, I'll present that version of myself with y'all guys. But this is what you get to see at first: the raw, the raw, the raw, the raw, raw, the raw, raw, the 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 raw. All right, cool. Alright, let's do this. I'm stalling way too much, making this fucking boring. It's a good thing that this is the beginning, because obviously I would have to be consistently entertaining in the future. What up, chat? What up, chat? Stu chat. I got a new channel I want to show you guys. I got a good one. Actually, I don't know if I should wait for this one. Nah, I'll just do another, like, yes sir, yes sir. Hey, yo. Okay, I'm stalling way too much. Alright, let's do this. Okay, we'll try this new one out, and should we do top-notch idiots? Not yet. So we'll do daily dose, we'll do degenerosity. Nah, I already got a similar type of video like that. Actually, let me see my watch later. There is a video like that. Nihilism, the belief in nothing. I mean, we're not in that tone, but I don't fucking care. Okay, let's just do this. Okay, so I got daily dose, nihilism, and YXL. Okay, so we'll do daily dose, YXL, and then nihilism. All right, let's do that. Oh no, that's not right. Yay, new video. All right. Kill, 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 kill. All right. Kill, 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 kill. That's enough. Okay. All right. Cool.
To the adventurers, the builders, the farmers, the do-it-yourselfers, whether it's your first Silverado or your 10th. Thank you for making Chevy Silverado.
Hello everyone, this is your Daily Dose of Internet. This police officer wanted these people to pull over, but they were in a self-driving taxi.
Let us move! We're not driving!
Wanted these people to pull over, but they were in a self-driving taxi.
Let us move! We're not driving! He's trying to... Sir, there's no one there.
Alright, we're protesting. Thank you.
The fuck? Yeah, that's crazy. Like, I'm wondering, like, what it would be like when it's all self-driving. I've been, like, actually wondering, like, when is it gonna be, like, actually flying cars? Like, to me, it kind of seems like, why is that not the case already? But if not, I feel like it's coming very soon. Like flying cars. I feel like Dubai's gonna be the fucking first city where that shit happens. Or yeah.
What are we protesting?
We're protesting everything. We're angry and we're not going to take it anymore. We're angry. We're protesting. Thank you.
What are we protesting?
We're protesting everything. We're angry and we're not going to take it.
Is this supposed to be like the fucking? I think they're just making fun of the concept of protesting, which I agree, because this is like I've never understood it. Like, okay, props to the people that do it, but I can't fucking do it. Like, I'm never going to be a part of a protest. Never. If you catch me, that's a no. But I'm not. I'm not. Unless I'm the fucking leader of some kind of protest or like no, I'm not. No, not because I've always liked being like the type of person like a Batman, like espionage type of person. Like I'm always that kind of person where like I solve the real problems behind the scenes, or like it's like like there's always like some kind of court drama or thing happening, and there's a protest happening outside the court, and I'm the kind of person that like goes far away from the crowd, enters into the corridor of the court, and then solves the issue like right there and then, the real problem. And I've always felt that that's always been the case with me. Like, or simply I just go against the grain. If most of the crowd is going that way, I go this way. And by simply going that way, now most of the people are coming my way because that's just what leaders do. Leaders are capable of being two things. They're either capable of becoming the leader, hence, or just being the lone wolf and straying away, because they can't conceive of the idea of being a part of the sheep of the crowd. They just can't, and I'm one of those people. So take it as you may. But this is funny. I feel like we're mad at everything.
Anymore.
Hey, yo, in a good way. That's badass.
Someone dropped their phone in the otter enclosure, and the otter thought it was a clam and tried to break it open.
Well, that phone is fucked. It's screwed. It's screwed.
This
Damn,
guy
man.
made a makeshift bagpipe using a balloon and a harmonica.
Does sound like a bagpipe.
This person tried to trick their dog into eating their medicine. This person tried to trick their dog into eating their medicine.
Oh, fuck. I think he thought it was successful. And he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. It's like he's just like, you thought you was gonna get me, but you didn't.
No, that's not whale barf, don't worry. Sometimes whales will filter feed by sucking sand off the ocean floor and then spitting it out. Virtual reality construction workers are now a thing. Caterpillar made their construction equipment controllable from anywhere in the world, so these vehicles could all be controlled by someone thousands of miles away.
What? Damn. I feel like that is the balance. Because, like, of course, you don't want to put people out of work just because everything's going to be automated. Because it's inevitable that that's going to be the case. But the balance, in an optimistic point of view, if it's not just completely automated, is just simply the fact that you can have people, like, control it. They control it. But the thing is that, like, an AI is going to be completely smart on its own. Like, what would you need to do? But I guess right now, in the middle ground of that being the case, that's the best balance because they don't have to go through the hard labor of like doing that, but of being there physically, but and they could and they still have a job to do. So, hmm.
This has to be the happiest and most relaxed chicken I've ever seen.
Aww. This is like, man. Looks so cute. Ooh, yeah.
This owl has been trying for a long time to have babies, but the eggs would never hatch. So these people put some baby owls in her nest while she was gone to see if the owl would adopt them. When she came back, she immediately accepted them as her own.
I actually want a pet owl. Like the three, I'd say like the three, besides like the typical animals, I don't know if I want a cat. I don't know if, I definitely want a dog. 100% I want a dog. Like a wolf type of dog. 100% I want that. But besides the typical animals of the cat and dogs, the sort of strange animals that I want to have, that I want to own is an owl, spider, and what's like the strangest? Maybe a fox? I'm not sure if I want a fox. I don't know about the third one, but I know I definitely want a spider, and I definitely a spider, and I definitely want an owl. I just imagine an owl like sitting right there. It kind of be creepy. I ain't gonna lie. just sitting right there, like just like, ooh, ooh. Let me see that again.
Put some baby. This owl has been trying for a long time to have babies, but the eggs would never hatch. So these people put some baby owls in her nest while she was gone to see if the owl would adopt them. When she came back, she immediately trying for a long time to have babies, but the eggs would never hatch. So these people put some baby owls in her nest while she was gone to see if the owl would adopt them. When she came back, she immediately accepted them as her own. This is pretty cool. This guy made a device that can close and lock bathroom stalls if the door latch isn't working properly. This dog was taking a long time to wake up after surgery, so they used a treat to help out.
What is that? Oh my goodness! Oh my gosh!
That is the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Later.
This is gonna become a routine where like I'm gonna know this guy very deeply. Let me see the comments. The owl instantly adopted kids is honestly one of the cutest things I've ever seen. I respect the two lads protesting. It's truly despicable what they are doing, what they are going through. Yeah, yeah, it is. Um, uh, Imagine if you drop your phone in the enclosure and then saw the otter pick it up and you thought that this was about to become one of those wholesome animal stories. Animal helps when the animal helps you out and returns the item, then you just see the other start banging it against the rock as if it's just to spite you. Yeah. All right. What's the next one? Oh yeah. I want you guys wait before I even go there. Um. Damn. Time went by fast. It went by quickly. All right. Well, I got another video. What was the other one that I wanted to try? Oh yeah, then okay, cool. Okay. All right, I want you guys to see this guy. I haven't seen this. I haven't shown y'all this guy at first. He's very cool. Similar vibe of Degenerosity. He has like the same comedic vibe, like funny, comedic, schizophrenic, internet type of commentary. So it's cool. All right. Let's see. Women are simping for yeah. I mean yeah. I actually want to watch that one day. Not yet. Nostalgia. Let's do this one.
Get off the house! Shoot the man. Shoot the dog too.
Here's to the very first influencer in your life.
Time is moving fast. And the years are moving faster. Like we're already halfway into January. New Year's was just yesterday. I sat back really thinking, time is moving fast.
It's 2023. Yeah, it's January. Yeah, it's already May. It's crazy. Ah, shit. I wasn't supposed to show y'all that. That's not a bad thing, but uh, alright. Back at it again.
And the years are moving faster. Like we're already halfway into January. New Year's was just yesterday. I sat back really thinking to myself, damn bro, life was really better back in the good old wait, okay, not that far back. Still fast forward a bit more. Okay, perfect. Life was just on easy mode back then and things were very interesting. And it's crazy to think as children we wanted to be adults so bad just to find out this shit comes with depression, responsibilities, and taxes. Back then when we were mere children we had respectable guardians who would look at wait, okay, not those ones. They don't need to.
That's always the same perspective, and although I do agree, and I'm talking about this idea of like, as you're a kid, you want to be older, and then when you're older, you want to be a kid. That's never really been the case for me. Like I've always wanted to be at this point, even at this point, but there's a bigger point that I want to be at, and I still agree with that. Now, it's not to say that I don't miss a lot of aspects of the past. I do, but I don't have this like it. I don't have like this yearning for it or anything like that. Like I've always wanted to be in the future. I mean, in the future and older rather, and particularly have agency in those things. So yes, of course, it comes with a lot of, I guess you could say, like, trials and tribulations. But ultimately, if you go about it the right way, you have the capability to forge something special within your life. And so that's exactly what I've always believed. I know I'm going off a tangent about that, but that's really the case, I would say. So, yeah. So yeah, I've never really believed that.
To be around any children. Our only worries were getting good grades and dodging ass whoopings. Everything was great, all due to nostalgia. Now nostalgia is like recovering from drugs. Not that I would ever know. But nostalgia makes me feel like I missed the past when compared to the present. We had many great things to look forward to, and that's why today I want to scientifically prove to y'all that shit just isn't the same anymore. Whether it comes to music or video games or shows, it ain't like the 2010s and 2000s. Starting with something we all grew up on, cartoons. Nigga, do I even have to present an argument on why cartoons aren't the same? This new generation is gonna have to flex Baby Shark as a classic while we had the greatest shows ever. There will never be shows like Adventure Time, Regular Show, Flapjack, Chowder, Teen.
Yeah, I agree. But of course we're biased. But it's hard to not, like, see, I guess you could say, like, the other what's it called? Like, the other, of course everyone is biased to what's positive about their generation, and you look at the past with, like, this sort of kind of rose color eye lens of things, but it's hard not to argue, like, this. Come on, like, these are, like, the 90s, the early 2000s, 2010s. They had the best moments.
Teen Titans, Codename Kids Next Door, Avatar, Billy and Mandy, Ben 10, Phineas and Ferb, and the list goes on. To this day, we still have full-on hour-long conversations about what Avatar powers are the strongest. And it's between airbending and waterbending. Let's just not even discuss that, alright? Let's stop. Point is, old cartoons were amazing and had storylines worth tuning into. Have you seen how new cartoons look? The new cartoons are not even directed to preteens anymore. They switched the whole art to these little-ass babies. An integral part of my childhood was looking at Courtney and Gwen's fine ass on Total little ass babies. An integral part of my childhood was looking at Courtney and Gwen's fine ass.
Total Drama Island. I remember that. I remember that.
On Total Drama Island, wanting to somehow be sucked into my TV and go crazy on them. But now this is how they look. This feels illegal. What in the damn Benjamin Button's disease is this? The only person that would approve of these new looks is R. Kelly. This new generation won't even know what a childhood crush is. Their childhood crushes are literally children. Their childhood crush is gonna look like a damn 4-year-old. We found relatability.
No. Nope.
In cartoons. Like how.
Nope.
Oh, I'd kill my friends for a girl that doesn't even like me. Okay, maybe that wasn't a good example of relatability, but you guys get what I'm saying. Like, you could relate to them. You can't relate to no baby. And what did every amazing classic have? An amazing song that made you want to bust the goddamn move. Everyone would know the lyrics to these intros because they were so amazing. While we still argue about which cartoon had the best intro, the only flex the new generation is gonna have is how Baby Shark was a classic. And that shit was so overplayed, let's not even lie. That's not even to mention the toys we used to have because of these cartoons. Like, them Beyblades were no joke. I wasn't even the type of kid to have an imagination, so I ain't like action figurines because you had to move them and shit. But Beyblades not only spun like shit, but there was competition. That's not even mentioning Bakugan, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. We also had silly bands. I don't know how we made this shit a trend, but nigga, if these covered your arms, you were him. Silly bands confirmed you were a moneymaker in school. But now toys will never be the wave. This new generation will never know the amazing feeling of having a good toy. The only toy they will ever use is when they're adults. Cartoons were goated. Why do y'all think there's a reboot for every cartoon, every movie and every show. Cause niggas know the classics will always win. Like quite literally, nobody cared for that Lion King's movie. The ratings were shit, but they made more money than the original one. They prey on your feelings of nostalgia because they know you're gonna buy that shit. But there's things that you can't even reboot, like the feeling of good old music. Call me crazy, but before the rise of rap, white artists had the music game on lock. Think about when Miley Cyrus dropped the certified hood classic with Party in the USA, and Katy Perry dropped California Girls, and Justin Bieber releasing this classic Baby, which literally had every girl imaginable in a chokehold with every Bieber product available. They even bought his balls. Shit, I could use some of those balls too. I feel like the music genre has some shit for everyone. For the emo niggas that
Yo, this is like the worst.
shit, I could use some of those balls too. I feel like the music genre has some shit for everyone. For the emo
Is that Logan Paul? Is it? I don't know, but it fucking looks terrible, bro. The fucking emo cuts. That shit only looks good on girls. I don't. The emo guys, like, it's the worst shit ever. It's an atrocity upon humanity.
niggas that don't want to live anymore. For the school shooters who were heated up. For the hot Cheeto girls that never participated in any activity. And more for the school shooters who were heated up. For the hot Cheeto.
Yeah, it's always these fucking rat. I mean, I like hot Cheetos, but it's just always these ratchet, like, oh man.
Girls that never participated in any activity. And for the niggas who think sagging with their big ass booty is cool, there was shit for everyone. Now I feel like the only shit niggas have is TikTok music. And you know, we all hate it when our favorite songs make it to TikTok, because people will only replay a 10-second clip of that song over and over until it gets more played than a hoe who chooses men based off of their astrology sign.
Bro, this is a problem. This is men's problem in their generation. Look, I have no problem with you believing that, but it's just like it's the basic way. It's like I can already tell the stupid like phrases that women say when it comes to this. It's giving. It's like it's giving is like it's stupid. It's all it's giving. I hate that word. There's certain phrases, there's certain things that come with most of these girls that believe in that stupid shit. It's not even that that's stupid, because like I'm, open to knowing what that is. It's the fact that they make it so dumb. They make it so like, bro. Like I just, yeah, whatever. It's so annoying. I don't see how they don't step outside of themselves. They self-reflect and they just go like, oh yeah, I look dumb. I say everything. You all sound like sheep. You all say it's giving at the same time. It's just no. But whatever. It's not the biggest deal.
Music now is still good, don't even get me wrong, but old hits make me want to bust a goddamn move. Speaking of moves, can we discuss how iconic dances used to be? TikTok ruined the sacred art of dancing. I know y'all are probably like, nigga, how? Dancing on TikTok is literally the forefront of the app. All of the mainstream TikTokers have literally blown up all due to the weakest dances possible that require almost no feet movements and completely upper body shit. Every time a dance move popped up before TikTok, niggas would practice that shit until they mastered it so they could perform better than Michael Jackson in front of 5-year-old kids. I'm just playing, y'all. I love Michael Jackson. I meant 6-year-old kids. Point is, dance moves would drop like variants every couple months, and there would be whole songs dedicated into the movement itself. On the bright side, music that are dedicated to songs still haven't changed, like Uzi's still going stupid. And then we have games in general. Look, this might be controversial, but I think games are still valid. A lot of the legendary nostalgia games survived the test of times, like Minecraft. Why do you think there's grown-ass Minecraft players and kids that love him? I mean the video game, not him. Sure, I mean most games are just continuation or sequels to the games before, but I can't complain if those video games are still still fire to this day. I mean, we've been waiting 20 years for the new GTA to come out, but we know it'll be good since all the GTAs are classics. But I can't say the same for sports games like 2K and FIFA. They're all just money grabs and the ones beforehand were better. But for the most part, console games are pretty valid. The real issue are website games and phone apps. When it comes to website games, Generation Alpha is finished. One sad thing this new generation will never get to experience is the golden era of Y8. This shit had every possible game in existence for free. Yes, for free. You could be the brokest nigga in your block, but guess what? You had free Y8 games. You didn't need a PS3 or PS4 to have fun, but if you had a functioning computer, you could play anything. Uno? Nah, we playing 4 colors. UFC? Nah, nigga, we playing drunken wrestlers. The possibilities were endless. Y8 also had us playing the most dumb-ass time-consuming games that were regular as hell. Like this bartender game where you mix drinks. Nigga.
Speaking of games, we're gonna be playing games in about, I would probably say within the middle of May. Most likely. Within the middle of May, we're gonna be playing. Just letting you know.
Do I look like Cardi B or Bill Cosby? What do I look like mixing drinks for? I feel like they casted me for the new 50 Shades of Grey with how this game had me in a goddamn chokehold. Not to mention all those IO games like Agario and Snakes IO. There was no such thing as boredom. And then the games that did have microtransactions were peak, like Club Penguin for example. The only valid gift card to get any child back then were one of these membership cards. The way I would be so excited for these puffles, almost as excited as Shane Dawson and Round Cats. I would do anything to collect those goddamn puffles. Games like Habbo, Pop Tropica made it so we could socialize and have fun playing games as children. The new age now have Discord, where they would behave properly to get promoted by a 60-year-old Predator mod. Website games were beautiful. In app games, we had the most simple games like Temple Run, Angry Birds, and Fruit Ninja, which required the most simple ass actions. And not to mention Flappy Bird, they sent death threats to the creator of that shit. He had to take down the app because it was so goddamn addicting. But hey, they were creative and they had us playing for hours. The new app games are all copy and pasted with the same shitty ass formula. Nobody wants to play this. And you know, that's our Gen Z feelings of nostalgia. Can you guys just imagine Generation Alpha's feelings of nostalgia? These niggas gonna be like, hey, y'all remember the COVID-19 pandemic? That was probably the greatest years of my childhood. Yeah, the disease that killed almost millions of people around the world. Take me back. I hope y'all just teach your kids about the older works of art rather than Coco Melon's season finale. Most of the shit y'all will brag about are reboots and sequels to things that have existed way before your time. But in terms of music and other things, I'm sure y'all will be straight. TikTok will probably be the thing you guys appreciate the most, even though it's quite literally proven to destroy your attention span. China created that shit and they don't even allow it in Hong Kong, which should tell you enough about that app. Don't get me wrong though, I'm still gonna use it. And you know, there's much more things that I could have added.
I'm not gonna lie, like, yeah, I hate that shit, but I'm gonna use it to my advantage because I don't spend a lot of time in there, but that's why I don't have this like super thing. Although I have to kind of train myself to do that, and I come from that generation to a certain extent. I do because I'm Gen Z, but I would say that yeah, TikTok. I'm gonna have to use it for the time being that it's still prominent, super prominent and active. So I have to use it because of TikTok and because of this sort of short form content. It's the reason why I'm gonna blow up. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. It's the sole reason why I'm gonna blow up.
In this video, like all the content creators back then in YouTube, and of course these Disney movies and Nickelodeon shows, and just so much more things that this new generation will never know the privilege of. I really just hope Generation Alpha has things to really be nostalgic about. Anyways, that is the end of the video. Let me know down in the comments something you feel nostalgic about. Bring back our memories, alright? I wanna talk to y'all. Maybe one day someone is gonna feel nostalgic about my content. Here's my second channel for more content. Here's my Instagram and my Twitter. I'll see y'all on the next one. YXR for life. Love y'all and peace.
Peace, my dude. Peace. Yeah, let's watch this one. Nope, not that.
We all know how it goes. One day we're born, one day we die. Everything that happens in between we know and understand, but everything that happened before and will happen after, we know nothing about. As a result, it's really difficult to say what exactly the meaning or importance for us being here is. If we can't tell how we came or where we came from, how can we know why we're here? In the same vein, if we don't know where we're going or what we're going to become, how can we tell if any of our present actions have any significance at all? It is this uncertainty of both our collective pasts and futures that has allowed the question, what is the meaning of life, to plague humanity ever since we became sentient. We've never been able to objectively answer this question as a species. However, a lot of us have found comfort in many different ideologies to at least subdue the anxiety that it causes. In many different religions, a deity made the entire universe, put us all in it, and whatever we do on this earth will be used to determine when and how we spend eternity afterwards. For some others, the meaning of life is the love we share with friends, family, and our loved ones. Some others believe the existence of life in itself is what makes it worth living. But for nihilists, life is meaningless. All action, suffering, emotions, both good and bad, are entirely senseless and meaningless. This is nihilism, the belief in nothing. At some point in our lives, many of us have been faced with nihilistic thoughts. We're hit by a strong sense of purposelessness, like our lives have no meaning, and we have no intrinsic value. Usually, this happens when we begin to question our old beliefs, but also just before we get new ones to hold on to. It's in that phase where you're growing out of your parents' beliefs, learning new things, getting new experiences, and forming your own views about the world. And usually, all of these thoughts begin with one simple question. Why? A three-lettered monosyllabic word that's capable of making anything and everything that feels like the rock of your foundation start to become slippery. Like quicksand dragging you into the misery that maybe, just maybe, your whole life hasn't been what you thought it was. Just pause and take a moment to think about your core values and just ask the question, why? Why do you believe those things? Where did they come from? Who did they come from? Keep asking and eventually you'll arrive at a point where there's no longer an answer. You'll arrive at nothing. All the religions of the world, all of our scientific discovery, but yet the question why is one that we still cannot answer. And so for the nihilist, it is at
Well, we can answer, but not completely. Not fully, but we can answer. It's just not fully yet. Because there's always this constant back and forth, and I guess you could say there's a good justification for the back and forth, but I'll get into it at the end, but yeah.
At this point that they come to the conclusion that there is no why. There is no answer. There's simply nothing. As Alan Watts once wrote, life is nothing more than a trip from the maternity ward to the crematorium. It's really in the name. The term nihilism comes from the Latin word nihil, which translates to nothing, and ism, which translates to ideology. It's the ideology of nothing. But that doesn't really help us in understanding it completely. Usually, people confuse nihilism for pessimism, but they are very different from each other. Pessimists believe in the worst outcome. They have a downtrending view of the world, and tend to focus on the negatives in life, because they believe that, in the end, evil will always overcome good, and this is what makes them different. Pessimists believe that there's good in the world, but they just don't think humans are capable of doing it, at least in its entirety. Nihilists, on the other hand, do not believe in anything. They don't believe that there's evil in the world, neither do they believe that there's good in the world. In the mind of the nihilist, the world simply exists, and humans created morality, thereby creating good and evil. Let's take the glass cup metaphor for instance. Optimists say you should see the glass as half full, while pessimists say we should see the glass as half empty. Nihilists? They say throw the entire cup away, because what does it matter if it's full or empty? Full, empty, good, bad, it's all irrelevant. We're all going to die anyway. Nihilism is also often compared to several other philosophies, like cynicism and apathy. But again, they are all very different from one another, and correctly categorizing your thoughts in these baskets may be harder than you think. Cynics believe that people are always motivated by self-interest. They don't believe that anyone can have intrinsically good motives. They have no faith in the human species and believe that we're all entirely selfish, only fighting for our own benefit. However, the idea that humans are not good means that in the mind of the cynic, good exists out there somewhere, just not in humans. In the mind of the nihilist, Nothing exists out there. There's no good or evil. They don't see people as evil, neither do they see them as good, because they don't believe either of those things exist. They're simply traits we've applied to things. Apathetic people just don't care. They believe that there's meaning to life, but they simply don't care about it. Nihilism, on the other hand, is the idea that there's no grand design or purpose, nothing to believe in, and therefore no meaning. This brings to mind the paradox of nihilism. If you believe in nothing, then that nothing becomes something that you believe in. But since you now believe in something, then there is no nihilism, because nihilism is the belief that there is nothing. Nihilism is quite different from other philosophical ideas because it was first a literary invention before it ever became philosophical. As a result, it's not clearly defined as many of the other philosophies that exist. Many different people explained it in many different ways, but eventually these different definitions got categorized, forming many different kinds of nihilism. There's political nihilism. Political nihilists believe that for humanity to move forward as a species, all political, social, and religious order must be destroyed. Then there's ethical nihilism. It rejects the idea of absolute ethical or moral values. With this type of nihilism, good or bad is only defined by society, and, as such, it shouldn't be followed if we as a species will ever attain absolute individual freedom. We can kind of just do whatever we want. And then we have existential nihilism. It's the understanding that life has no value or meaning. It's the most popular kind of nihilism, and the one we've been talking about for most of this video. For nihilists, the existence of things like the state, religious bodies, and even communal morality is a breach on our freedom as individuals. If we can't do absolutely anything we want to do, then are we truly free? Or have we simply bound ourselves by some kind of invisible mental chain for reasons we can't explain?
Carl! It's 10 a.m. People are working.
Come on, Carl. I'm trying to work in here. Carl.
One night I was scrolling through Reddit and I came across the question, if you had the chance to save your pet or a stranger, who would you save? An overwhelming number of people said their pet, pretty obviously. When one commenter was confronted, they simply asked the question, why do you think a human life is worth more than that of an animal? And no one really had an answer. Of course people tried to beat around the bush, but the question why was never answered. And that right there is the point of the nihilist. If we can't answer why we bind ourselves by these rules, then why do we choose to do it? Well, it might be because of the existential horror and the emotional anguish that comes with agreeing to the fact that life is meaningless. Think about it for a minute. If life is truly meaningless and everything we're doing has no value, then all the feats of science, the wonders of technology, things like space exploration and human rights movements, look at how far we've come. And then think about the fact that it all might just be a waste, a blip in time with no consequence whatsoever in the grand scheme of things. Knowing that all the things we experience, the ups and downs we go through, that in the end, it's all for nothing. We aren't obligated to understand the chaos of reality, just to laugh at it. Friedrich Nietzsche was a strange philosopher because he argued both for and against nihilism at the same time. Arguing for, he explained that there is no objective structure or order in our world except for the one that we create for ourselves. He once said, every belief, every considering something true is necessarily false, because there is simply no true world. He believed nihilism would expose all of humanity's beliefs and truths as nothing but a symptom of defective Western mythology. As he famously said, God is dead. Now he wasn't talking about the actual deity of the religions, he was talking metaphorically about the power that religious orders held at the time, and how people were starting to chart their own paths, find their own meaning in life, denying what the status quo was at the time. But then, in the same breath, Friedrich argued against nihilism, saying that in the coming centuries, the advent of nihilism would drive civilization towards a catastrophe, a disaster waiting to implode, a river that has reached its end. And if you look at the most destructive civilizations in human history, we can clearly see that this is true. Long-standing cultural traditions, beliefs, religious institutions, and even financial systems are broken down, and nothingness starts to creep in. Think about it. If nothing matters and we're all just a random combination of transient atoms, how can we call Hitler objectively one of the worst humans to ever live for trying to wipe out an entire culture? At a fundamental level, Most of us understand that all of these things are indeed terrible, but the danger is that because we cannot explain why we feel that way logically, we can never convince another person to follow the same path. And that is exactly what Friedrich feared. Some people still blame him for the Nazi era, because although he saw all of these dangers, he still continued preaching nihilism. He believed that if we could work through the breakdown of civilization that nihilism would eventually cause, we can then create a new course of action for mankind. He believed that to move forward as a species, we must create a new morality, one that does away with the prejudice of what existed before, because at the end of the day, tearing down your old house shouldn't make you homeless. Rather, it should present you with an opportunity to build a bigger and better home. Pause and look around you for a moment. Observe everything that's going on, particularly on social media.
I'll hold that thought until the end.
And you can see that we as a species might just be heading for another nihilism outbreak. Religion no longer holds any say in what is morally acceptable. People are destroying long-standing beliefs and cultural practices, and are instead charting new courses for themselves. Anything, no matter how despicable you think it is, now has a loyal fan base defending why they have a right to do whatever it is they want to do. And in reality, why not? That's the question no one can answer. Humanity will keep shifting the needle forward ever so slightly until one day, none of us will be able to tell the other that they're wrong, because why are they wrong? William Shakespeare once wrote, "Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, but signifying nothing." If life is truly meaningless and we have no purpose for being here, our response should be to make the best out of a bad situation. Instead of seeing the glass half full or half empty, we can simply throw it out and drink directly from the faucet until we're satisfied. Because at the end of the day, life alone is reason enough for living.
Let's see.
In 1993,
Yeah, I'll subscribe to this guy. What can I say about that? I guess what I can, yeah, I guess what I could say about that is, that although I can respect certain aspects of nihilism and what it presents itself in just the simple idea of asking the question, because I've always been a strong advocate for that. I sympathize with that. The only thing is that at the end of the day, like, and this is something that I'll get into deeper later on, but it's like, like, for example, like, it's sort of the same idea that I relate to this idea of rebellion and what it means and how does it look like exactly. And the fact that people define it a certain way is already rudimentary and kind of stupid, because it's actually not rebellious at all. Once you define it completely, then it's not rebellious at all. And I'll explain it. Like, for example, you know, rock, gothic, type of people, they present a certain form of rebellion. And of course, back in the days, it used to actually be rebellion because what they were countering is sort of normal presenting type of things, usually associated with the religion. But now that is the culture. So what is the counterculture to that? Whatever the counterculture is what the rebellion is. It's also that, and it's also just the idea, the content of the idea itself. And most of these people, they now just do it for fucking aesthetics, as opposed to the actual idea. And it's something that I'll further expand upon later on. But I do think that that is the case, and when it comes to that, it's the same thing. It's like it gives me that same feeling. Like I understand it. I understand when people have those nihilistic tendencies and those perspectives. It's inevitable that people will have that. But at the end of the day, I don't really think there's really a no, there is a point to question, but there I just hate the certain typical aspects, the typical questions that you ask. But I think that's also because I'm trying to rebel and I'm trying to escape the conception of questions and ideas and things that most people ask. And I want to ask the question that no one else has asked, or in a different manner in everything that I say in every single way. But that's a whole nother thing that I'll get into later on. But yeah, ultimately that is the case. Um, yeah, that's why I like to watch those videos from time to time. Of course, these are the early days, and when I do get big, I'm not gonna be watching this as much because I have priorities at hand. But for the people that will miss those old days, you'll see it here, and you'll see it from time to time at those points, but not as often, very rarely. But it will come back in a deeper manner, with a direct purpose, with a direct vision and mission. But we'll leave it at that. Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and peace.